believe it or not, the brightness on the camera actually fixed that, but it's kind of become a trademark of the visual part of the podcast to have this little green screen bite and fail, so we'll leave it there, I guess. So next up, we are now looking at being debated by PlayStation with the Half-Life Alyx screen. They're not debated though, I'm joking. I want to get people up in arms again, getting upset, trying to defend Copium PlayStation VR2. This is one at the moment where I've been thinking about this, sitting around thinking about this update, and I felt like at first it was like the headline was "This is terrible, awful, what have you," and I thought, actually, it's okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. It's kind of a mixed bag. Let me explain. All right, so you probably, unless you've been living under a VR rock, you know the PlayStation VR2 has been, or Sony have been planning a adapter for the PC, or to make the PlayStation VR2 supported for the PC. I'm mumbling over my words and spitting all over my stuff. That's been in the works for a few months now. We've known about this, and it's led to a lot of interesting thoughts and conversation. Depending on how you look at it, is it them abandoning the PlayStation VR2? There's still not been any new exclusives. The PlayStation Play event, PlayStation VR2 portion of it was, well, watch that video. It's in the podcast playlists as well, and all your podcast places from Spotify to YouTube to Apple. Oh, actually, no, it won't be in Apple. I need to actually upload it into Apple, and I just remembered I've got to upload that, but it will be. Anyway, by the time you watch this, it'll be up there, I'm sure. Latest update that was released quietly. What date was this released? Because this I didn't even hear about. This was June the 3rd. The PlayStation State of Play was June the 30th, I believe. June the 30th or 31st. No, May the 30th or 31st, sorry. My word. They does April, June and November. Yeah, May as a 31st. So I think it was the 30th, May the 30th. And then June the 3rd, this kind of sneaked out, this news. June the 3rd, 2nd, I found it on Twitter. And then I found out here. And nothing about it in the State of Play. But here we are. A little concerning, but depends how you look at it as well. I don't know how to take this. So I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this, how you're feeling about it. So PC adapter starting on August the 7th of this year. We're going to have a PC adapter. Let's get more information on it. Today we're happy to share that we'll be rolling out this support on August 7th. Players will have access to buy and play Steam's expansive library of thousands of VR games, including fan favorites like Half-Life Alyx, Fallout 4 VR that needs a million mods to make workable apparently, and War Thunder. You can purchase the VR PC adapter, which will be available for an estimated retail price of $60, €60 or £50 at select retailers and direct to PlayStation. You'll need a commercially available DisplayPort cable as well. That's compatible with DisplayPort 1.4. So you have to take all this in. This is very important. You're going to need to buy an adapter. This was rumored and suggested on Twitter /X a while ago now. And you're going to need DisplayPort 1.4 compatible cable, and obviously a Steam account if you want to get the games on the PC. So what's interesting as well is the system requirements. So for best performance with your PC, you're going to be wanting an RTX 3060 or an AMD Radeon RX 6600 XT. 66,000 is a whole other AMD graphics card in like 10 years or something. And again, the DisplayPort needs to be a 1.4, must have standard DisplayPort or mini DisplayPort output port. So you need an output port that's 1.4 or greater. And obviously you need a USB direct connection only. And then it says Bluetooth 4 layer. I guess that's for devices maybe or what have you. So these are things you need. Be aware of it. It want 8 gigabytes or more RAM. They're saying an Intel i5 7600 or AMD Ryzen 3 3100 Zen 2 or later. And then Windows 10 or 11 64-bit PC. That's all of the system specs there. Lowest graphics card says a GTX 1650, but they are recommending an RTX series NVIDIA overall. So 3060 or greater if you want the good performance. 3060 is not the most expensive graphics card ever, to be fair. So it could be worse though in system requirements as far as that's concerned. DisplayPort, how many of you have DisplayPort slots these days? I think most, if you get like a 3060 anyway, you're going to have DisplayPort on there, I'm pretty sure. Inputs and outputs and so forth. So that should be fine with what they're asking for as far as graphics, because I know a little bit less about Radeon. I only use AMD for processors. I don't really know much about Radeons. I don't know what that is. I imagine that the RX 6600 XT is the equivalent of a 3060, I imagine. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, setup is easy, I should say. Simply connect the PlayStation VR2 to your PC using the PlayStation VR2 PC adapter and the DisplayPort 1.4 cable. Then download the PlayStation VR2 app, and the Steam VR app from Steam. So another note, there is a comment we're going to be reading later. You know, I forgot to read the comments on the first part. I might have to throw that in, why I recorded first, which was the Meta Quest 3 version 6.6 update. I forgot to read some of the comments, but we're going to do it on this one. But one of the comments was mentioning, do we need a PlayStation account, you know, with the Helldivers 2 thing, Ghost of Tsushima thing, and upcoming PC from PlayStation ports are going to need you to have a PlayStation account. And I would assume much of that comment, if you have to download a PlayStation VR2 app, you're going to need a PlayStation account. So that's another thing you're going to be needing. PlayStation account, display 1.4 port and cable, and an adapter. And you have to spend money as well. Another more money again. So not only you need to get a PlayStation 5. I suppose you don't need a PlayStation 5 if you get the adapter, but you know what I'm saying. So it still ends up being more than the Meta Quest 3, but it's all things to consider. I don't know. You guys just share your thoughts. I don't know anymore. So simple enough to connect. It has a picture of it here. It looks like a box with a cable, USB cable sticking out of it. Similar design, a white design, PlayStation accessories type look. If you got the charge cradle thing like I've got for the PlayStation VR 2 as well, it's just lots of money altogether. All right, this is probably the most important part I was mentioning and hinting at, in that it being divisive. It all sounds great so far, apart from the extra costs and some of the hardware things that you're going to need. You knew you're going to need some decent hardware anyway. This is the thing. This is the kind of kickoff for me. This is what kind of at first was like, this is kind of BS, and made me quite disappointed, to be honest with you. Feature differences with PlayStation VR2 on the PS5. So they say it was designed from the ground up for PS5, obviously. So you'll notice that some key features, take this in now, and listen to this, very important. Listen to this very carefully. This is what you're not going to be getting, at least at launch. Doesn't mean that they can't update it or something like that. I don't know if they're purposely not adding these features, or if they can't technically, or what's going on. But you will not get these on August the 7th, okay? Listen carefully now. Here. No HDR. That is basically what gives the lenses, or gives the vision of the lenses brighter color, pure blacks and pure whites, purebreds. Wait, why is this sounding racist? You know what I mean? Clean colors, basically. Makes things look nice. It does make a difference when you're looking at an HDR display and non-HDR display. You won't notice the difference. So that's gone. Headset feedback. A unique feature of the PlayStation VR2. One that I mentioned in my review and in my comparison videos. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure it'll be linked in the usual places. That's gone. So it's just a normal Quest 3 like headset now at this point. No vibration on the headset. I don't know either. Eye tracking, gone. No eye tracking. Another unique feature of the PlayStation VR2, gone. Adaptive triggers, another unique feature of the PlayStation VR2, gone. And finally, haptic feedback, other than standard rumble, gone. Every single feature that is PlayStation 5-esque and makes the PlayStation VR2 unique. If you're playing something like a Madison, you get that vibration going on in your head in VR, you know, or you know, all that kind of stuff, gone. Forget about it. You're not going to get the same experience on the PS5 version of Madison VR on the PC, because they want you to buy a PS5. I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, are not available when playing on PC, it continues to say. Now here's the flip side, but this is kind of like par for the course. You might be asking this, well, what the hell is in this, Uncle Intro? What's going on with this? If I don't have no vibration on my head, what's the point of this, bro? What's going on, Uncle Ian? Well, my friends, you will have high fidelity and sensory immersion features, as they call it, including 4K visuals, 2000 by 2040 per eye, 110 degree field of view. I can't remember the comparative to Meta Quest 3. I don't know what this view degree field of view is. I think they're both 4K though, I think. I feel like I want to check. Hold on a moment. So I did a quick check, and according to the power of Google, not going to use Lily GPT or ChatGPT here, it is 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye, with a refresh rate of 120. I think that's 120 for the PlayStation VR2 as well. And then 110 degrees of FOV, field of view. So they're matching each other basically, except for there's a bit more pixels per eye. So yeah, and then finger touch detection. I'm not even sure what they're talking about with that. And see-through view, which is black and white, if I remember rightly, on the PlayStation VR2. It's not something I use very often on it. So see-through view is black and white, opposed to color, and then forwarded rendering. Now that's the only other thing that's the only thing I think it's got that the Quest 3 doesn't offer on PC, which is forwarded rendering, which is the ability to improve performance by rendering based on what you're seeing, which implies that the eye tracking therefore is working. It's just disabled. Does that make sense, guys? Forwarded rendering is using your eyes to track what you're looking at and therefore what to prioritize in rendering. If I'm not mistaken, you guys will tell me in the comments, which means that it is using the eye tracking feature, which I believe is the same tech as Tobii Eye, the Tobii Eye device, which I was using in on my flat channel for Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is basically, if you're watching instead of listening, this infrared type thing here, or kind of eye tracking system. I believe they're using Tobii Eye tracking technology in the PlayStation VR2. And essentially, if they're doing forwarded rendering, it will suggest that they're still tracking your eyes, which means the feature is working on the PC then. But they've decided to make it not work as far as eye tracking as a feature in terms of games and so forth, gameplay feature-wise. So it feels like they are, as I cut myself down there almost, yes, sharp. It feels like they really are disabling the features as opposed to not able to do it. It looks like they're just cutting the features off. If my understanding is correct, you also have 3D audio in supported games with 3 asterisks. Oh my god, you know what I mean. I can't say it when I'm recording. It's impossible. Okay, so while the most immersive way to experience PlayStation VR2 gaming remains on PS5, VR players will enjoy the ability to play an expanded lineup of VR games on PC using the same headset. And I also highlighted here that Days of Play celebrations is in process at the time of recording. You should have till June the 12th, guys, to get up to $100 off PlayStation VR2 and PlayStation VR2 Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle until June the 12th. You get it direct from PlayStation, I presume. So that'll be direct.playstation.com. So it is discounted at the moment. So if you are going to get it, this is the time to get it, I guess, because it's one of the first times it's been discounted since its release. $100 off definitely makes it better value for sure, especially if you're going to end up getting the cradle to charge, the charging cradle, which will cost you another, if that's not discounted, it's going to cost you like $50-$60, that one. And then you're going to get the adapter, which is another $50-$60, $60 I think to be precise. So before we look at the comments, guys, what do you think about this, man? Are you disappointed, or at least a little disappointed at the least? On a scale of disappointment from 1 to 10, let me know. 10 being the highest amount of disappointed, 0 being don't care. Are you disappointed about the features, all the unique features of PlayStation 5's PlayStation VR2 being gimped, it seems? Not working, it seems like they just turned it off. Are you disappointed that they haven't gone full-blown, let's make this the best way to play PlayStation VR games or PC VR games on the PC? In fact, I have another video where we did a tier list where we were thinking about what the features would be they would need to make it successful on the PC, and it doesn't seem like they've kicked in any of those, really. So are you disappointed by this? I mean, the way I look at it is like this. Isn't this equivalent of taking PlayStation's games, exclusives, like say Ghost of Tsushima, and then putting it on PC, making sure that the DualSense controller doesn't work outside of just exactly the way it would work on an Xbox? That's what it feels like to me. It feels like it took all the unique features of the controller as an example, in this case the controller being the headset, have removed them and turned them into a standard Xbox. It's really weird. Unless they have plans to really give some love, actual love to the PlayStation VR 2 from their own pocket on the PlayStation 5, why would they make it average to mediocre on the PC? And will it matter? Do you think this will work? Do you think enough people will buy it still then? Do you think this will solve their potential warehouse problems? It's really weird to me. I don't know what to think about it. It feels like they're trying to sell PlayStation 5s. But it's weird because it's like a 50% opposite strategy to how they were doing with the PC, up until the point where they started requiring you to have a PlayStation account, of course. But it's still weird. I wonder if someone new at top or something that's changing the decisions and decided to focus a little bit more on the brand itself as opposed to spreading the brand with the account requirements. That Helldivers thing was a complete hellstorm of crap, neck deep in it. And now the PlayStation VR 2 on PC has been completely gimped and made to basically be far less compelling, in my opinion. Unless the games that end up looking better to a significant level, this ends up being far less attractive to people who have a Meta Quest 3 already, in my opinion. And maybe even people who have a Quest 2. They just took out all the features. They took your DualSense controller and turned it into an Xbox controller and then charged you an extra $50 for the pleasure. I mean, I'll probably end up getting it if I'm, as long as I got the money to do all that kind of thing for you guys, to kind of cover it for you guys and see what's going on and let you know if it actually looks better or not. I was kind of hoping maybe that in some ways it'll almost be like a discount for people who already have the PlayStation VR 2 as almost like almost like an apology. But apparently not. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, man. This is a very mixed bag that could easily be taken positively or negatively. The thing is interesting as well, depending on how I do the thumbnail and how I present it. The irony is that every time you try and do things in an overly neutral or positive way, unless it's truly out of this world positive, like no arguments, people don't click. They don't click on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the X's, whatever. It just doesn't happen. So even though people will complain if I take the stance that I'm feeling about it overall, which is this pretty pathetic, but it could be good, maybe, or enough. It could be enough, but it's just pretty pathetic because it feels like the features have been turned off by them and not because they can't handle it technically. People are going to complain about that. They're going to complain about it. And I'm wondering if I should even care. Because in this case, I feel like Sony's done everything they can to make it impossible to defend this damn thing sometimes. They're taking a perfectly great device and made it BS multiple times. And it's frustrating. It's super frustrating. So share your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm right about this being purposely gimped and they could have done a better job with this? And that these features should be turned on and that people deserve that and that they should have made it more competitive? Because as it stands, to me, outside of seeing is believing, so I have to see what's going on as far as the technology is concerned. But it feels like it's going to be exactly the same as the Quest 3, only worse. Outside of having a battery, not having to worry about a battery maybe, but it could be worse. I guess if it's the same thing, at least you don't have a battery to worry about. But they made it exactly the same as the Quest 3 essentially, but the Quest 3 has a little bit more technical at the base level from the eyes per eye resolution, the hand tracking, because it doesn't have full hand tracking. The only thing it hasn't got there, and then it's got better pass-through, it's got mixed reality, even if most of the mixed reality tends to be not connected to the PC anyway. And then obviously the only thing that they're giving you that you don't get is there should be better performance. Maybe if people use a forwarded rendering, you'll only get better performance potentially. You don't even have the HDR, so you won't get the benefit of you'll get the sharpness of the Quest's lens, but you won't get the color and vibrancy of the PlayStation VR2's lens on the PC. It's just, I don't know. Let's check some comments now anyway. You guys share your thoughts. I'll be very interested to see what you guys think about this. So, first comment here says Pom SR1 says, very good. Now bring the Astrobot game to PlayStation VR2. There's an Astrobot game that was announced in my Flat Gaming PlayStation State of Play thing video we did on the Flat channel. And I didn't even realize at the time watching it that I was kind of like, where's this character was before? And the Astrobot character's been used to kind of showcase the unique accessories and features of the PlayStation devices since PlayStation VR1 apparently, because it was apparently originally started out as a PlayStation VR1 mascot, and Sony decided to troll everyone by making him now a Flat Gaming mascot in his first Flat game. So that was great. And someone here saying about fix the stick drift. We don't really care about that. This person here there's a fly in my room, man. It's a big ass fly. What the hell? Is that a fruit fly? I hate those things. Anyway, don't get distracted. Focus. Oh gosh, I got it in the back end now. Let's see if I turn up the brightness maybe. Turn down the brightness. There we go, it should look better now. Underdrill, I'm more on this line, or Underdrill 37 here, says, that's disappointing to hear that the lack of features available when using the headset on PC. I'm not sure really how much this is going to appeal to people over existing PC VR headsets, such as the Quest 3 I'm putting in there, on the market, and the Quest 2 even. But it's definitely a plus for people with capable PCs getting to use their headset on the platform with by far the greatest number of VR games. Again, is that enough? That's literally what all they've done here, it seems. Let's see out some replies to that comment. Sar Shoyam says, makes a lot of sense considering you would be accessing a bunch of VR experiences that aren't optimized for the headset. That said, the one thing that's kept me from PC VR is having to buy a new headset. Now all I need is an adapter to play all the games. I've been pining away for, I read it kind of wrong there. Fallout 4 VR, which apparently is a bunch of mobs to be functional properly though. Alex, A Fisherman's Tale, Skyrim VR, Lone Echo, etc. Let's go. Lone Echo's available. No, maybe it is a PC-wide thing. I think it was a Rift experience. It's certainly the PC. I don't know, I'm confusing that one. Fisherman's Tale is available on PlayStation VR2, so you don't have to wait for that one. Yeah, there you go. So the OLED is still a big plus for me. I also have a Quest 3. It says Kinky Friedman. He's kinky, apparently. I also have a Quest 3, but prefer the PlayStation VR2 screen. The sweet spot isn't an issue with the Gobbler cluster mod. I don't know what that is. So you guys know more than me in this stuff. Let's see if we can find another interesting comment. Replying to that Go Green game on says, unfortunately though, the displays can't take advantage of its OLED screen as HDR isn't supported. Yeah, did you miss that bit? Is people not reading that some of the features not going to be, that's just skipped here, which is required to produce the contrast OLED is known for. It's a total joke. Why am I not surprised PlayStation don't make that point clear to customers? Yeah, it's very much in the blueprint. That's why I highlighted it for you guys. That HDRs are gone, so you're not gonna get the benefits or the full benefits of the OLED screen in the first place. So yeah, let's see if we can find some other ones. This is the one I was talking about earlier as well. Cheeseball. I want to nip this in the bud early. Are we going to be forced to log into PlayStation account on the PC to use this? And someone says it says PlayStation app via and Steam app. I'm ad-libbing a little bit there. So yeah, you're gonna need that. I would say you're gonna need a PlayStation account for this. Let's see. Eponymous says that you couldn't come to an agreement to get Half-Life Alyx on PlayStation 5. So you've had to create hardware to put the PlayStation VR2 on PC instead. And it's got like a face palm with a female, says a lady, or at least one that identifies as such, apparently. I worry this will give PC VR devs even less incentive to develop for PlayStation 5 now. Half-Life Alyx is the only PC VR game I cared about. You're now saying if I want to play it, I should get a better PC. You're literally driving your VR user base towards getting PC VR instead. And then this kind of this emoji with the eyeballs going up, like rolling eyes. And there's some replies. It says, XDD90 says, this is a good move, thanks Sony. There's just one thing that is unclear. The features that are unavailable on PC, is the reason simply because no games currently support them? Or does it mean developers are unable to utilize them, even if they want to? It sounds like the latter to me. How that read to me read like it's because they're just turning them off, not because games don't support it. Another one here, Apollo Helios 229. Once VR2 is available on PC, it's going to be the best display available at the price. See, that's not necessarily true, is it? Because no HDR. And if there's no HDR color balancing, from what I understand, that means that with the Fresnel lens, I forget which one's the pancake, which one's the non-pancake, but the lens of the Meta Quest is sharper by default. So if it doesn't have the color benefits, Zuckerberg's not going to be very worried. In fact, he might be happy about it and probably tell him to use the OS software of the Quest and of Meta. So yeah, and then Xanos here, so it's saying here's quite a big one. Sony moving PlayStation VR units and working towards becoming a new standard VR peripheral will only result in good things for future VR gaming on PS5 and beyond. They've already been in the process of bringing their exclusives PC. Now, what's not clear, since none of the Sony's exclusives with VR support or VR titles have been announced coming to PC, if say Horizon Call of the Mountain PC is announced and it doesn't have the same VR2 features with the VR headset like it does on the PS5, that would be disappointing. I don't know if it's a PlayStation VR 5 VR2 combo exclusive dev kit restriction that would that they're hinting at, or that you shouldn't expect games already available on PC to play like PlayStation VR 5 VR2 titles that have been programmed with those peripherals in mind. All these possibilities of devs have been allowed to update their games on PC to make use of the full PSVR 2 features. I wonder what this means for Capcom's Resident Evil PlayStation VR 2 titles. Could that exclusivity and compatibility continue with PlayStation VR 2 on PC? So at the moment, again, much like our tier list that we did, all of this is a lot of speculation. I feel like it's pretty clear at the moment, at least for the launch part, that none of this stuff is going to work on the PC. You're not going to get any of the PlayStation VR 2 PS5 stuff on PC at the moment. What will be the case 6 months, 8 months, 12 months down the line? Will that change? It seems like it's possible at the least. And the option to have it is better than not. Don't get me wrong. But at the moment, it feels underwhelming. It's not a full home run slam dunk, is it? So yeah. And this person quotes about a design from the ground up. Key features missing. This is C Breezy 21. I knew there would be trade-offs, but I still question who this is for. Do they think that many PlayStation VR 2 existing owners want PC game access? Why not go cheaper with Quest headset if I lose so much functionality of the PlayStation VR 2? Are there any plans to encourage devs to implement PlayStation VR 2 features or make it easy for them to? So there's a lot of questions about, is this a question of, can they develop for it, the full feature set, or is it being forced? We've got some responses there. FNord. We have someone in the community called FNord? I don't know. I have PS5, PlayStation VR 2 and a gaming PC, decently above the recommended specs. I have no PC VR headset. For $60, I can instantly gain access to the PC VR gaming library. Yeah, this is for me. Yeah, that is the scenario where it makes sense, for sure. Because you don't have to spend $500 for the Meta Quest 3. It's much cheaper for those scenarios. I did say as well that there's a few people who have a decent PC as well in gaming that probably would go for that, especially if they had the VR2 already in the PlayStation 5. If they don't have those two things though, or either of those things, I don't know. Don't know how this has been offered, I'm not sure. I went on PS5 and PC. Sharpfish saying, different games, different users. I had a PS5, a PlayStation VR 2, I returned it. Will rebuy. Retro 7 is awesome on PS5 and will buy a Pro to make it even better. With PC, this one replaced my old OLED HMDs, and my recently sold Quest Pro I was using for wireless PC VR. LCD sucks for VR. So there's 2 people that are saying it's useful for them. Sharp Vision and Rocket says, I think there will be a decent number of existing PlayStation VR2 owners who will jump at a chance of using the headset on PC. My PC is capable enough, not the best, but it should be okay for quite a few games. I couldn't justify buying a VR headset for it. I can easily justify £50 though for an adapter to use PlayStation VR2. And then the last one here, I'd say, because it's a really hard name to pronounce, Risque says, without the PlayStation VR2 key features like positive rendering or HDR, it's not the same. So there is still a place for Half-Life Alyx and others on PS5. And Apollo Helos responds, software will be supported in time outside of official drivers, as with everything on PC. Yeah, I don't know. That's the community's thoughts there. What is this community's thoughts on this development? Let us know in the comments below. Share your thoughts. Me, I'm hopeful, but I can't lie and say I slightly lean over towards the disappointed overall. But with the right scenario and the right set situation, it's better to have it than not, at the least. So that's where I stand on there, I'd say. It's good, but it's not great. And you won't be surprised to know that this episode is sponsored by, well, yours truly, the Integer, aka JustVRGaming, bringing to your attention the very cool websites that we have available for you that will contains many cool VR related things, from articles to PDF, books, some free, some paid supporting the channel, and the JustVRGaming.shop as well. It has all manner of cool merch to be showcased soon enough once I can afford my own merch, and many other cool stuff. So do check those out, support the channel. Some options are free as well. You can use our Amazon links if you're going to buy any of the VR stuff that we talk about, any of the devices and so forth. Yeah, use the link within 24 hours of clicking and it will count, and you'll be supporting the channel for free, and you'll allow me to make more videos, more regular, more sooner, and you'll be able to also upgrade Lead GPT's infrastructure so you can give even more unpredictable responses.